If you're watching this, it's already too late. I know how that sounds, like some clickbait warning you'll laugh off and forget by morning. But I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to confess. You've seen the posts, right? The ones that vanish after a few hours, the stories about plush toys that aren't just toys. Maybe you thought they were just urban legends, or some ARG cooked up by bored collectors. I did too. I laughed at the warnings, ignored the desperate comments from people who claimed their lives were ruined. I thought I was smarter, safer, immune. But I was wrong. I didn't believe the stories either. Not until it was too late. I thought I'd found my escape from reality. My life was a loop of gray days. Work, sleep, repeat, until I started collecting plush toys. There was something comforting about them. The way they reminded me of childhood, of simpler times when monsters only lived under the bed. My shelves were lined with soft, colorful faces, each one a tiny anchor to a happier past. I wasn't alone in my obsession, either. There was a whole online community, a forum where collectors traded tips, bragged about rare finds, and sometimes swapped stories that were a little too strange to be jokes. My friend Jamie was my enabler. "You see the new drop?" she'd text, sending links to auctions and limited releases. We'd laugh about the rumors, plushies that moved on their own, or ones that brought bad luck. Cursed plushies, the forum called them. Urban legends, I thought. But sometimes, a post would get deleted before anyone could reply, or a user would disappear without a word. It was easy to brush off, until the night I saw a listing that shouldn't exist. No brand, no description, just a single, blurry photo and a price. The listing was buried deep on a site I'd never used before. The kind of place where the search bar barely worked and the ads felt like traps. The plush in the photo was wrong somehow, its eyes too wide, its smile stitched crooked, formatted in odd patterns. The seller's profile was blank. No history, no reviews. Just a username that looked like a keyboard smash and a location set to unknown. I should have clicked away, but curiosity gnawed at me. The starting bid was absurdly low, almost like they wanted someone, anyone, to take it. As soon as I placed my bid, the page glitched. Suddenly, there were others, usernames I didn't recognize, all bidding in frantic increments. The timer kept resetting, stretching the auction into the early hours. My phone buzzed with a private message, "Don't buy it. Please." No explanation, just those words. I hesitated, but the thrill of the chase drowned out my unease. When the timer finally hit 0, I'd won. The confirmation email was just a string of numbers. 2 days later, a battered box arrived at my door, with a single note inside. "You can't return what's already yours." The box was heavier than it should have been, sealed with layers of tape that stuck to my fingers like skin. When I finally pried it open, a sour, earthy smell hit me, like wet leaves and something rotting underneath. The plush was even stranger up close. Its fur was patchy, almost greasy, and the eyes, glass, not plastic, caught the light in a way that made them seem wet. I reached out, half expecting it to be cold, but it was warm, almost pulsing. It felt wrong, like it was watching me, even when I turned it to face the wall. Jamie came over that night, drawn by the promise of a new addition to the collection. She wrinkled her nose the second she walked in. "Dude, what died in here?" I tried to laugh it off, but the lights flickered as she picked up the plush. "Maybe it's haunted," she joked, grinning. I wish she hadn't said that. The air felt colder, and I noticed my breath fogging in the living room. We both blamed the old wiring, the drafty windows, anything but the thing sitting on my shelf. But that night, I woke up to find it on my pillow, staring at me with those glassy eyes. I tried to convince myself I'd moved it in my sleep, that maybe Jamie was playing a prank. But the next morning, the plush was gone from my room entirely. I found it in the kitchen, propped up on the counter, its head tilted just so, as if it was listening for something. I put it back on the shelf, but every time I left the room, it seemed to migrate, always closer, always facing me. I started locking it in the closet at night, wedging a chair under the handle. Still, I'd wake up to find it nestled beside me, its stitched smile wider than I remembered. Then came the whispers. At first, I thought it was the pipes or the wind, but the voice was unmistakable, soft, childlike, and using my name. "Come play, Alex." I'd lie awake, heart pounding, afraid to open my eyes. My phone alarm would go off, but I'd already be late for work, too exhausted to care. Jamie stopped coming over. She said the place gave her the creeps, that I was acting weird. I stopped answering messages, stopped posting on the forum. My world shrank to the apartment, the plush, and the growing certainty that I was being watched. Desperate, I went online, searching for answers. But every thread about cursed plushies was gone, deleted, locked, or filled with warnings. Don't ask. Don't look. Don't let it in. I started noticing names missing from the forum, people I'd traded with, chatted with, envied for their rare finds. Their profiles were wiped clean, like they'd never existed. The old threads about haunted plushies were gone, too, replaced by cryptic warnings and locked posts. One night, I caught a glimpse of a new message before it vanished. They're breeding. That word stuck with me, echoing in my head as I paced my apartment, counting the plushies on my shelves. I could have sworn there were more than before. Some I didn't recognize at all, strange colors, unfamiliar faces, all with that same glassy stare. I tried to tell myself I was losing it, that sleep deprivation was making me see things. But every morning, there seemed to be another plush, tucked into a corner or perched on the windowsill. I stopped leaving the apartment. I stopped trusting my own memory. Sometimes, I'd catch movement in the corner of my eye, a flicker of fur, a shifting shadow. I'm not the first. I won't be the last. The plushies want something, and they're patient. I tried burning one, stuffing and all, but the next day it was back on my bed, singed and grinning wider than ever. I tried to move, packed a single bag, left everything behind, didn't even tell Jamie where I was going. But when I unlocked the door to my new place, they were already there, lined up on the windowsill, stacked on the bed, waiting. I laughed, a dry, cracked sound. At least they're soft, I thought, as I shoved them into the closet, the bathroom, anywhere I could hide them. It didn't matter. Every time I blinked, there seemed to be more. I stopped calling my friends. Jamie's number just rang and rang, then went dead. The world outside faded, replaced by a suffocating parade of stitched smiles and glassy eyes. I barely sleep now. When I do, I dream of fur brushing my face, of tiny hands tugging at my sheets. I'm writing this surrounded by them. They're waiting, patient as ever, their numbers growing. I don't know what they want, only that I can't give it to them. If you see one, if you even think you see one, don't touch it. Don't even look. Maybe telling you is the only way to get rid of them. Maybe that's how this works, one story at a time, one unlucky listener after another. If you've seen a plush like this, if you've ever felt eyes on you in the dark, it's already too late. They find you through stories, through videos, through whispers in the comments. That's why the warnings disappear, why the forums go silent. It's not just me. I know you're out there. If you've had strange dreams lately, if you've woken up with something soft and unfamiliar in your bed, comment below. I need to know I'm not alone. Maybe together we can figure out what they want. Or maybe we're just feeding them. Either way, don't look behind you. If you do, you might see one waiting just for you.